Hey guys, in this video we are going to be looking at the box shadow property in CSS3. Now, one of my favorite features in CSS3 is the ability to add shadows into our boxes. So currently I have a box in my web browser created using a div, ID of box, empty div, and inside my style tag I have a 200 by 200 width height with a margin of 30 pixels so that it's not touching the corners of my web browser, and I have a border of 1 pixel solid black and a background color of yellow, and I am going to be adding the box property here so that not the box property, the box shadow property here so that I can create a shadow. So I'm going to say box shadow is something something. Let's say like 10 pixels by 15 pixels, and save our work and refresh. There we go, so we have this shadow. Now what these does is the first 10 pixels is for the X and the second 15 pixels is for the Y. So I want this shadow to be created 10 pixels from the left and 15 pixels from the top of my box. So basically it's saying that I want this to be 10 pixels and 15 pixels, and by default the color is blacks. Now we could change the blur of this of this shadow by adding a number here. So after this 10 pixels, 5 pixels, I'm going to be adding another number, say 10 pixels, 15 pixels, I'm going to be another number saying like 5 pixels. And if I save and refresh, we can see that the 5 pixels of the edge of this box or the shadow has blurred. Now if I say I want it to be 15 pixels, all of them is going to be blurred because the size of the shadow, 10 pixels, 50 pixels, is smaller or equal to the size of the blur. So I'm just going to put this back to 5 pixels, like so. Actually, let's change it to about 8 pixels. Maybe that looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Now, you can also change the color of our, color of our shadow, because by default it's this solid black. I want to change this into like a lighter grayish color. So you can actually look up, just say gray color in hex, or just write gray. But what I'm going to be doing is using the RGBA, which we looked at in my last video. So I'm going to say 0, 0, 0. That basically means it's going to be a black color, same as the default. However, I am going to be changing the opacity to something else. I'm going to change the opacity to my tongue isn't working properly. I'm going to change the opacity to 0.4 so that it's going to turn black into like a grayish color, like so. So now this looks much better than the default solid black color. It looks more like the sun's coming from hitting from the top left, and you have this nice kind of 3D effect with the blur. So to summarize, basically, if I write a comment over here, oops, like so, we have this box shadow property, and the first thing we're going to be doing is the X. The next thing we're going to be doing is for the Y, and then we could add a blur to it, and then set the color. So this is the box shadow property. There's also a couple of other values like inset and stuff, but I'm not going to be looking at that. Not going to go through this in this video. Maybe sometime in the future when we use CSS3 to create like a cool looking website. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.